Hello, everybody. In case you didn't know already, I am Shireen. I am part of the spoken word leadership team. And from all of us, we would like to say we are sorry for the delay in production. There were some challenges on our end, but if you're viewing this, the video is up. It is ready to go. All of your pieces are here. All of your bios are here. And we can't wait to see what you guys have for us. We also wanted to thank all of you guys for putting your 100% into the show. We know it's been very difficult given 2020, and I don't think I need to say very much else, just the nature of 2020. But the fact that we have this wonderful poetry to share with each other just means the world. So thank you guys. And I don't think I have very much more to say. Just sit back, relax, get ready to do your snaps, and enjoy the show.
This is Fiona's first spoken word, and she is very excited to participate. She wrote this poem because she has felt very isolated during quarantine and wanted to be reminded of the important parts of life.
Hi, I'm Fiona, and I'll be performing a piece called Imagine a World. Imagine a world where people are stars. Instead of on Earth, they're circling Mars. What would we do all day, I wonder? Just stare into nothingness or shine light on worlds down under? What would it be like to just float in the sky? No responsibilities, no worries, no regrets. It must be quite nice, I imagine. But don't forget, humans also have dreams and passions they fight for, though at first the burden of humanity might seem like a chore. To people on Earth, a star's life must seem very freeing, and their imploding destiny adds mystery to their being. We try and take from them the essence of an unshackled life and add it to our own definitions of self in order to avoid strife. Even today, in our words and thoughts and feelings, our perception of stars serves to remind people of their unattainable desires. The term star-crossed lovers comes to mind, because very rarely do stars ever actually touch, cross paths, or combine. But stars don't have knowledge of their loneliness, that they're fated to be alone in the sky. And as humans who do have to bear with the feelings of isolation, we ask ourselves why. Why do we suffer? Is it worth it to be free from all this pain, but miss out on the emotions that the star-crossed lovers possess? We get to feel soft summer breezes combing through our hair, and the warmth of human skin with every touch and caress. We get to smell the scent of the earth after fresh rainfall, and hear the bright singing of birds through which our ears are blessed. We get to taste crisp, refreshing water that saturates our life, and at night the sky lights up in our eyes before we achieve a peaceful rest. When the moments of life unfurl in our glittering minds, and we take in the wonders of the world around us, notice that stars cannot sense the marvels of life that are so beauteous. Stars have no knowledge of their beauty, it's only recognized by others. And while humans, like stars, shine bright from within, we can also see light in one another.
Lucy is another senior at SHC. She is also a part of the spoken word leadership team. She also enjoys doing choir and singing.
Hi, my name is Lucy Bikahi, and here's my poem, A Love Letter to No One. Thank you. I'm captivated by the peculiar nature of love and its happenings, how an invisible string seems to have our hearts bound together despite the deep, dark, violent ocean that separates us. The wind in its endless stream of chaos carries your voice to me as I desperately try to sail away from the storm of hurt that'd be better left alone. I am in awe of the delicate beauty of love and its fragility, a pale pink rose that encases our two hearts, an attractive but ineffectual shield against an unweathered storm of heartache. The nature of love and lust, and of betrayal and heartbreak, is an infinitely enchanting ocean that I hope to continuously drown in.
Ali Hernandez is currently a senior, is involved in concert choir, chamber choir, and vocal jazz, and is also the co-president of Comic Club. In her free time, she enjoys playing video games, watching anime and cartoons. One of her favorites is Avatar The Last Airbender, drawing and playing piano. She's excited to perform again for spoken word and is excited to see everyone else's pieces.
I still remember the time we were just 15. We hung out whenever we could with classes in between. We were just trying to survive our stressful lives. Now we're here at that old age, 17, having late night Zooms with the text and everything between. And I hope that this will all just remain the same. I'm here to tell you, no matter what goes on, no matter how many times we fall, I know our bond will remain. Three friends till the end, and we do it again. Dancing, laughing, singing, crying, smiling, screaming, trying, flying. Be friends till the end, and we do it don't you know that I'll be with you? Pinky promise, cross my heart, and be friends till the end, and we do it
Although this is Brandt's first performance for spoken word, he has participated in many other performances both for and outside of SHC, and he's excited for this new experience. Aside from poetry, Brandt enjoys other hobbies including cooking, acting, and volleyball.
A hand of hope. My hand is made of hope, but when I reach out, you pull away, and I can't seem to hold on. Then you fall. You've fallen a million times, but you stand. You fought a million battles, but you continue. I can't help but admire you. Your courage, your strength, your compassion, everything tied neatly into a bundle, so tight that you don't dare let yourself unravel. But you hide, and I want to reach out. I want to give you my hand of hope and take hold of yours. But there's nothing concrete about hope. Hope is abstract and often broken too. It is something that can only be grasped in your head, not in your hands.
Ella is a sophomore, and this is her first spoken word at SHC. She loves performing arts and was in SHC's The Crucible, Xanadu, and the dance showcases The City last year. She wrote her poem, God Every Day, in her 9th grade scripture class, inspired by one of the class's essential questions themes. She hopes you like her poem and the rest of the show.
Hello, my name is Ella Hardigensis Lloyd, and I will be reading my poem called God Every Day. She clasps the earth in her hands, but can't revolve it. The sun and the moon far away, the force pulling her into rotation. She grows forests on her arms and mountains she can't climb. The valley of her waist cradles thousands. She has everything she needs, a beautiful child, a job that pays her bills. And awake she can love, bring joy, no pain. More children are born from women like her, but when the stars come out, she can't go to sleep, dreaming with one eye open. And although she is God, she is terrified of the world she can't always control. Her dreams are all nightmares of her life before, of weapons and violence and death. When she wakes up, she's screaming, the earth burning, buildings and people on fire. When she realizes what she's done, she cries a flood that washes hundreds of lives away. She confesses the murder to anyone who listened, but no one is there to hear. She moves on though, because her life is short. She might only live 50 more years. The next day comes, the sun rises up, and she loves and cradles and nurtures. Her child feels safe by her breast, but her best isn't good enough, and when night comes around, the ground starts to shake again. In the morning, both her and her child awake from terrible nightmares. But her son is the one who gets comforted and hugged and told that he'll be okay. He loves her so more than anyone knows and sees her as God every day. Thank you.
Kate is a senior, but you wouldn't know it just by looking at her. She's 4'10", for anyone wondering, though she'd argue 4'11" on a good day. When she's not stressing over college apps and homework, you'll find her drawing, tending to her 27 species of succulents, or staring at the stars from her bedroom window. She hopes you enjoy her submissions, which were mostly composed at 3 a.m.
You shine like starlight and you hung the moon. You're the lilting harmony in every tune. My song is better when you're around. Two girls, one melody, a beautiful sound. Eyes and skies are clear, my head's a mess. I wanna hold you close, I just wanna confess. My starlight girl and I were under the moon. Our time is ticking down, we gotta leave soon. I hold you close, you've got me in your grips, and you pull me closer with your eyes on my lips.
This is Sarah's 5th spoken word performance. She's sad that she can't be performing in the theater this year, but she's happy to be sharing this poem with you. In her spare time recently, she's been watching lots of anime and having Zoom calls with her friends every weekend. She wrote her poem recently about someone who is very near and dear to her heart. She hopes you enjoy her performance because this poem is very special to her.
Hello, I'm Sarah Bagdon, and this is my poem titled, This Is Not a Love Poem. This is not a love poem. I'm not in love. Love. What even is love? That fluttery feeling in my stomach every time I'm near you? This is a feeling that is new. Could this be? No. I'm not capable of love. My heart's been broken so many times, so sometimes I can't see those signs. The ones that tell you it's love. But you make my heart beat faster, you make me blush. Although telling you how I really feel would end in disaster. I mean, this is just a schoolgirl crush. It'll fade. But no. This feeling stayed, and I knew from the start, deep down in my heart, that I loved you. But I was scared of what you would say, of whether or not you'd stay. I'm not saying I'm in love, because I'm not anymore. You were the one person I fell for. But my heart's been broken, and now there are other options I need to explore. But I don't want to. I want you. But that's just my head messing with me. Or maybe it is love? No, can't be. I told you, this is not a love poem. If it was, I'd be talking about how I'm so in love with you, which just isn't true. I'm not in love. But what if I am? Would that be so bad? So maybe I do have that fluttery feeling in my stomach every time I'm near you. Maybe you make my heart skip a beat. Maybe you make my cheeks turn red. Maybe you're that something sweet. So what if I can't get you out of my head? So what if all I can think about is you. If only you knew how in love I am with you. So maybe I am in love? And I guess this is a love poem. Thank you.
Logan is a freshman at SHC. He is also an anarcho-monarchist.
Politics. Made to make decisions and stayed and made incisions in society. We take lives, take sides, apply broken logic, believe our own while ignoring others' cries. Our eyes lie at times when there's not enough light to see, and mine might need glasses, but masses of people gathering make me think that this molasses republic doesn't really pass us the things that we need. No more facts. Relax, homie, the problems don't need solving. They need the absolving of the people that are causing them. All things depend on your perspective, apparently. There's no more objective. Grandparents often seem detached. Effective persuasion affects us from the neck up in ways that aren't really visible until you check for critical thinking skills. Networks are unthinking pills we swallow eagerly. Net worth is all that matters. Yes, yes. Stock holdings grow by the month while kids even in my city wish for lunch. We can't come together because there's no we. It's me and you. You see, it's true that we continue holding the same basic views, but small differences leave all inferences open. One sentence shuts us down, no semblance of resemblance left, the other's opinions blown out of proportion. We all want what's best, but missed with that part where we achieve it. We'll leave compromised untouched because we believe it. We are so different. It's hard to watch. Shards of large looming truth fall apart into our open skulls. The relentless pull of anger, doom, and danger keep us hating those goddamned strangers. Straw men talk far too much. But some things shouldn't be debated. So long we've waited, they've waited for basics unrelated to the faces we've relayed and related to our bases. The world is burning, murder, violence, destruction, and we're not doing... Squabbles leave us hobbling, cobbling together awful things about them, fumbling our car keys and wallets before we all flee from the problems and back into our normal daily lives. Evil is the other side. We seem too far gone, far along the path towards war that we are non-cooperative. Human rights don't matter when the others aren't human. Blooming flowers aren't looked at when we ruin the field. Is it too late? New hate groups rise and call for new members. Burning hot summer turns to cooling nights and fall, but we all need to crawl before we rise. For eyes towards the skies don't help when we're walking off a cliff. Differences don't make us unfit to shift our focus forward. Your word should be heard like mine. Mine's open is the only way we'll find the right lines, rather than the unflattened curve of societal decline.
Okay, so I'm Natalie. I'm currently a senior at SHC. This is my 5th time performing at spoken word events. I'm part of Oracle, Tech Crew, and Choir. I'm an Alta 2 leader and part of the spoken word leadership team. My poems today are titled Waves and Class of 2021. And I'm excited to share the poems with you guys today. So it is currently 10 p.m. on a Monday night. And instead of finishing up my homework, I decided to start and write. I just finished having a breakdown, which is normal when you're in high school, and although you think it'll get easier, that thought just proves you're a fool. There's multiple reasons why breakdowns could occur. Too little sleep, too much work, high school drama, a hurtful word. But something I noticed in my 3 years here is that once I pass an obstacle, a new one seems to appear. All my emotions seem to come in waves. Some last longer than others, some for weeks and some for days. I go from feeling so happy and confident to sad and wanting to hide. The worst part about it is that it happens in such a short amount of time. An example of this, something that I realized a few hours ago, is that despite having all my friends, I managed to feel so alone. I see everyone in high school hanging with their close friends, and I know I shouldn't care that much, but it's hard to pretend. It's hard to pretend that I don't care at all, because all I keep thinking is that my life is trapped inside these walls. I can't keep going on. I can't keep living like this, with my emotions reaching the highest point and then falling down a deep, dark abyss. I noticed that in these waves, I have more low periods than highs. I always manage to be back at rock bottom no matter how hard I try to rise. Now, is that normal for other people, or is that just a me thing? Am I the only person that sees storms instead of sun in spring? Should probably get back to my homework because tomorrow I have to be up by 5:15. But one thing I've learned is that there really is no in between. Life is either going all good or falling apart, and you can't even begin to imagine the toll that has on my heart. There was no real point to this poem, just me trying to get my thoughts out, in order to start thinking straight and get rid of any of my doubts. Maybe this is just a teenage phase, and I'll get over it, but no matter what happens in the end, I will not stop and quit.
Hi! Here's a poem that I wrote during quarantine because I'm touch-starved and lonely. Here we go. I never felt so real as I do when being touched. Laying tangled in a heap with friends where my arm is being clutched, something, an electric feeling, races through my skin, and I feel this sort of settled warmth in my chest that's from within. But without touch, I'm out of touch, not grounded, not really here. And I fear without a tap or two, I might just disappear. Shoulder pats and guiding hands, a hand around my waist. High fives light up my tired eyes, I'm alive when I'm embraced. Something about touch grounds me. Perhaps I'm just tactile, but when I feel the press of skin, my head clears for a while. I never felt so real as I do in being touched. So if I asked to please hold hands, do you think that'd be too much?
Renee loves to write poems and paint things that reflect upon her life. Writing and painting allow her to express her emotions and be able to let out stress on paper. This poem that Renee worked on was about daydreaming and how daydreaming is addictive.
Hi, my name is Renee, and I wrote a poem called Hypno Dreams. I'm sitting alone at the edge of the universe, humming a tune that I had once before rehearsed. I've spent most of my time sitting at a desk reading those scholarly books and taking time with my friends to create memories to be put into scrapbooks. But now, they all lost their smiles and are in their zones just staring and staring into their phones. Which leaves me only to think of these rhymes and imagine all the stars in the sky are enjoying their times. Until finally, a wise man had come with a decree that would suddenly change how my reality came to be. As my vision turned white, his words started to take me into flight. I believe that I should start with a proper introduction for this written production. I am the hypnotist, and this is the prologue for a story that is filled with a twisted allegory. One that will rid of your trait of sensory, in which you will appear in a house of a memory. One touch and your mind will be whirled into the perhaps imaginary land of netherworld. As the sand starts to whirl through the glass, your pupils will begin to amass. 3, 2, 1. Time, like everything else, is never outdone. The stars all came tumbling down like leaves off of an elm that are as tall as another realm. It feels as if though I'm flying, but maybe I am dying. I feel but one emotion as I look straight into the ocean. As I am flying high, I could see in the corner of my eye a plot of land with giant pyramids hologrammed, as the hues around me arrange a show, pulling me towards the unknown with a steady flow. Pure delights surround me, making me decree that I shall never be free. I feel the breeze as I sail, and then I realize it's all just a tale. Now that existence has come running back with a glee, with just a simple snap, I am free. I open my eyelids to see what is at stake, and if the whole reality I just experienced was a flake. And of course, no doubt, it was just a little phase out into the world of my imagination that was only made by a hint of my heart's sensation.
Shireen is a senior at SHC, and she loves talking about environmental issues. She also loves listening to music, and she's probably listened to 2000s throwbacks as this is being written. She also watches soccer on the weekends and wishes Ronaldo never left Real Madrid.
And I say I don't care. Yeah, I don't give a what? I know, I'm a whole hypocrite, talking to people but can't even decide who I can trust. You're right, because nothing I do is ever enough. Yeah, I'm ice cold frozen. Too many years of heartache and begging to be chosen. I've been screwed over. I've been played, the damsel in distress who failed to be saved. My prince saw another tower, another better lover to deflower. So I dug myself out the deep end, never to be seen again. The king didn't search for me, and I didn't have a say, but I think that I'm okay. I think about the times where I didn't have my voice, where I endlessly submitted to you and thought that was me making a choice. And I can't believe I considered you. I just wanted to make a home, but now you're gone and I just have some red receipts on my phone. I was there when everyone else left. It was something I never mentioned, and our conversations today resemble contentions, like your employer denied you a pension. Who do I run to? I had to motivate myself when I was crying for help. I never went to you once. And now I'm a burden because I'm learning how to be less passive. So I ask a small favor of you and you tell me it's massive. Who are you to strike down when all you got is a frown and I turn mine upside down? You're like a dental crown, always covering the enamel of my success. And you're artificial. You chip away, but you're not here to stay. I'm stopping this cavity before it turns to tooth decay. And the very first time you called, yes, I promised not to fall, but the second I heard your voice, I knew I couldn't hold myself to that at all. I thought we had a connection. My optimism was subject to resurrection. But it's back in the grave where it belongs, and I'm realizing the prospects of you and I had the chances of Trump winning in the 2020 election. I should have listened to my gut, but now I know I'm enough. I'll shut the door before you ask me for more, but if it rings, I'll answer it every time. I'll control Z the real memories and create an iMovie version where you and I are sublime. And I'm not fine because of you. I lied because of you. I was holed up in my head for 2 weeks and I almost cried because of you. Just admit it, that you led me on, that you never cared. Admit it, that she was better, that your compliments meant nothing. I used to be committed, but now when I'm in love, I keep running. And so I should stop if I see a genuine connection. But any type of love to me now screams insurrection. And so I turn the other way, my optimism not coming with me, and I'm hoping by this time next year I'll be away from this city. Ignoring my gut feelings like the terms and conditions in my phone, and my internal organs are just begging to be listened to. The Republic dies in Rome. My heart and my head were supposed to be a democracy, but now there's high autonomy and suppression. My heart screaming bloody murder, my head shoots back, well, you should have learned your lesson.
Bridget is a freshman at SHCP. She is super excited to be a part of the Irish community. Outside of school, Bridget loves to read, play softball, and listen to music.
Have you ever loved someone so much you might burst? Have they ever ignored you so much that it hurt? Have you ever cried so much that the tears melted away? Look up. Tomorrow's another day. Have you ever prayed for something that won't come? Have you ever waited hours for no one? Have you ever known something someone else wouldn't say? Don't worry. Tomorrow's another day. And it feels that the waves are crashing upon you. You scream and scream, but no one's around. You know there's nothing you can do. You have something he just hasn't found. Most times, the half-empty thing isn't just the cup. And it's simpler to lie down than to rise up. Even though he always looks away, tomorrow's another day. Maybe he'll love me another day.
Dear Class of 2021, look at where we are. We're now almost at the end. Do you remember when graduating seemed so far? Do you remember when we were younger and fantasized about what our senior year would be? How we would be considered the kings of high school, and to celebrate how close we were to being free? We looked forward to all the sporting events and the plays and musicals we get to see. How we looked forward to celebrating with our friends and finish our many years of schooling finally. But things happened, and our lives changed. Now we are stuck indoors, and all days are now the same. You wake up and eat, then go stare at a screen, going to multiple Zoom meetings, and staying inside until we get a vaccine. You could try to go outside, but life is not the same. You have to keep your distance and wear a mask. Life has come to be a dangerous game. Something I remember very clearly is the last real day of school. We were happy to be getting a break. Oh, how we ended up being fools. At first, it was only 2 weeks, and we didn't mind that at all. Then it turned into months and months, and the original plan of returning during the spring turned into at least after fall. I remember the end of last year, when we saw what the seniors went through. We promised to take advantage of our last year. Funny, I think it was too good to be true. And whenever it seems that COVID will finally disappear, the quarantine gets extended, and we're left yet again for what seems like another year. Even today, I don't know what's going to occur. Will we really go back in January, or will the rest of the year continue to be a blur? So to the class of 2021, we're getting through this together, right? Our class is special because we had to fight this fight. I know this is not how we imagined our senior year to be. We expected everything but a pandemic, I think we can all agree. Class of 2021, we will go down in history, and when we are able to finally see each other again, that is when we will finally be free.